Alright guys, so I got a bit of a break in my day and decided to just get on camera and talk some real talk life experiences. So I'm going to talk about working a 9-to-5, working while you're trying to build out your company. I've had at least 2 people to come to me and tell me that they quit their job and were planning on getting going full-time into wholesale real estate. I didn't understand why they did that because they didn't even have the business going. They had only maybe watched a few videos. I think some of my videos on YouTube. Hadn't closed the deal before. Now, I personally didn't understand the thinking process behind it. Now, let me go back to a few years ago when I first got started heavy into real estate. Now, when I did my very first deal, it took me around 2 months to just really learn the process and then get around $1,500. But during that time, I was working full-time as a teacher. So I was working as a teacher, doing my best to, take calls, respond to emails, get off work, put out signs super early in the morning. I was up as early as, 3 or 4 o'clock, just out putting out bandit signs early in the morning. And then even when I got off, I was putting out signs or responding to calls, sending out mail, whatever it was, I did what I had to do to go ahead and just make sure I could try to get some extra money. Now, before I got off my job, in my mind, I gave myself a goal that I wanted to make at least 1 year's worth of my salary that I didn't touch just doing wholesale real estate before I would go into it full time. And for me, in my head, it just wasn't an option. I had to do this, so I made it happen. That 1 year's salary for me personally that I set aside was not enough for me to justify jumping out of the school system that quick and then going full time to real estate. And I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. For one, even though I was making a decent amount of money per month, it was anywhere between 5 and I think around 20,000 or so. A lot of that money went right back into taking care of my own living expenses, me and my family. And on any slow months, a lot of that money was just completely wiped out because we had to take care of bills or we had to do whatever it was. We still wanted to travel, and having that main income really would have helped a lot. Another thing that people don't really talk about a lot when you go full-time into being an entrepreneur, self-employed insurance costs a lot. Now, the insurance that I was getting through the school system when I was a teacher, it was a lot cheaper. It came out of my check, and then even after my check, I still saw a decent amount of money. And again, it just would have been beneficial for me to have held on to that job at least a little bit longer, maybe another year or 2, so that I wouldn't have to come out of pocket on all this extra money just for insurance. Not only that, but it was also like I was going from one 9-to-5 into another 9-to-5, but just working more hours throughout the day because I didn't have everything systemized, automated. There was still a lot of calls to be made, a lot of appointments to be set, and I just didn't make the push that I needed to go ahead and make sure everything was automated. Cash flow was coming in without me directly having to be involved in every transaction. So I do suggest that you try to get some automations and systems in place first. Another thing that I would have done also just personally is built out more cash flow as far as rental income. Now, what happens with a lot of people who are doing wholesale real estate, they really get stuck on getting the quick checks like the 5 to 10,000. But in most cases, wholesalers have a skill for marketing where they can get houses at such a discount that a lot of the houses, it would really make sense to just take it, turn into a rental property. You'll already have a bunch of equity built up, and then you'll have the cash flow. And if there's ever a situation where you need to get your hands on some money, you still got the cash flow, but you also have equity built up where you can take out some of that equity in cash. Even when I've been in jams before, I've been able to pull, 20, 30 grand out of a couple of my rental properties. So yeah, I definitely don't recommend leaving a job too soon. Just to kind of give you guys an idea about the 2 guys that I was talking about in the beginning of the video. One guy, I don't even think he decided to move forward with real estate. He got into it, wholesale specifically, and decided it was just too hard. After he had left his job, never did a deal, decided it was too hard, and I think he ended up going back somewhere. Now, the other guy, not sure what happened with him, but same kind of situation where he just decided to leave his job. I think he may have done a couple deals, but for the most part, haven't really heard anything new about, his success in the field. Now, that is not to say that it doesn't happen where somebody may leave their job and just go full in and they just make it. That definitely happens. I've seen it happen before. But when you're talking about a majority, not something that is super common. But definitely don't stop chasing your dreams. If you've got some momentum, if you haven't even started yet, go ahead and start. Because the hardest part about any of this in anybody's entrepreneurial journey is just taking that first step. So guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.